I mean, are Harry and Meghan playing a shrewd game, or is it suicidal public relations, which is what it appears to be to me?
I mean, you just have to look at every front page this morning. It's very much on the side of the Prince and Princess of Wales, the working members of the royal family, dominating coverage with the Carol service, the Westminster Abbey Carol service, and how the Netflix series, the final 3 episodes, have completely distracted from that. I think it was quite telling that Prince Harry has spoken quite so personally about his experience at that so-called Sandringham summit, where the negotiations was going on with the so-called divorce of Harry and Meghan as working members of the royal family. As you said in your link, William allegedly shouted and screamed at Prince Harry, which clearly Buckingham Palace and Kensington Palace have not responded to.
Do you think they will? Do you think they will respond? I mean, do you think they will respond at some point to these allegations, or are they just going to take it on the chin and let it ride?
So I have been told they are not going to be responding at all. I think perhaps if there was a specific allegation, then they might well have changed their mind and responded, like we saw following the Oprah interview. But it was a lot of allegations, lots of claims in this Netflix documentary, but there wasn't a lot of evidence to back it up, and I think that's what some people are struggling with.
And I was going to say, isn't everybody saying that? There was lots of insinuation. So he screamed. Was that meant to be he was bullied out of the royal family? So I think they haven't. And they might say, well, we don't care what Britain thinks. We care what America thinks. What does America think? Well,
America isn't quite as happy with the Duke and Duchess of Sussex as they were following the Oprah interview. In fact, the reviews of the Netflix documentary series have not been particularly positive. Even Gayle King, who is this CBS host who is reportedly in talks to do a sit-down interview with Prince Harry to promote his book in January, wasn't that not happy, that's the wrong word, but she was a bit critical of the Netflix documentary. And Helen Lewis of The Atlantic, and I think this is a very significant quote, she wrote, "The relentless one-sided narrative makes you feel manipulated." So clearly there are two sides to this story, and this Netflix documentary only gave us one side.
They are the ultimate manipulators, and what I hear, and you could just say this is gossip, in Hollywood, people aren't necessarily open to their invitations because they're fearful that if they'll say this about their family, what will they say about them? Are they the next set of fodder? And when Oprah Winfrey, I wonder if she was surprised to see that she's named, that Oprah was stunned by how small their house was. She was shocked. I mean, they're just grabbing everybody, aren't they?
Yeah.
Any name to give them a story.
Well, perhaps. I think that's half the problem. I think if you take Will and Kate and Harry and Meghan as two separate kind of couples, you see a huge difference in how they deal with media attention and trying to increase media attention. So Will and Kate very much used their high profile to really champion and bring media coverage to causes that can actually make a difference to people's lives. Harry and Meghan so far in the last 18 months since stepping back as working members of the royal family seem to have a kind of a narrative of this victimhood, and it's going to be a big challenge for them going forward with more media appearances that they plan to do, trying to get out of that victim narrative and, you know, try and go on with their charity work if that's what they want to do.
I think the thing that's sad to me is that I always was under the impression that Harry and William were very close as brothers when they were growing up, and yet it seems that Harry's riven with jealousy about his elder brother. I mean, at what point did this relationship break down? Because am I right in thinking they were very close when they were younger?
Yeah, it's very upsetting, I think, for royal insiders. I mean, you only have to look back to 1997 when two young boys were walking behind their mother's coffin in front of literally billions of people watching on television. They were very close. Prince Harry was part of the Royal Foundation, which now William and Kate are still very much part of. It's their charity work. I think perhaps tables started to turn when the Duchess of Sussex, Meghan, came into the fold. I don't think it's necessarily Meghan's fault that Harry left as a working member of the royal family. I think perhaps he wanted to step back from his role way before he met Meghan, but I think perhaps Meghan was certainly a catalyst in that.
As an